matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry. 'Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's oh so strong. It goes on and on, on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy, energy. Cause I can feel the energy, energy. I've met my demons one too many times. They taught me lows are what makes you feel so high. No matter how far my mind would wander, I'd always dare it to go even farther. 'Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's oh so strong. It goes on and on, on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy, energy, the energy. I can feel it, I can feel it. 'Cause I can feel the energy, energy. Oh, I can feel it, I feel it, yeah. Oh, I believe it, yeah. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy, energy. I can feel it, I feel it. Oh, 'cause I can feel the energy, energy.
Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream today. I am the Professor and welcome to the Professor Trades channel. We got a lot of value for you today. I'm going to be monitoring multiple screens to each side, and I definitely want to hear from you this morning here. So I'm going to be shouting you out in the comments. We are going to be getting into this active crude oil trade in just a minute. But first, let me kind of know where you are watching from. Drop that below in the comments. I want to give you a shout out on this morning's comments. So welcome everyone. I see Gigi's channel. Welcome, Gigi. Welcome and good morning to you. Stern 4141. Good morning and welcome to you. Peter Frey, good morning. Yes, I am still in my church attire. So yes, formally dressed today. Hey Stern, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Hey, we've got our Elliott Wave made simple. Brad, who is actually in our trading club, a host in our trading lounge, giving you weekly checklists, weekly watch list. So thank you for your appreciation for that. We've got Mohit from India. What is good? Man, this is coming in way too fast. We got Cypher from Germany. We got Sasha from Alabama. Good win for the Crimson Tide last night against the Georgia Bulldogs. Shout out to the Crimson Tide. Hey, what's going on, Obaida, over from Dubai? And what is going on? We've got Sports, who is right here inside the house. Check out his editing channel. Great job over there happening. Pedro, what is good from the UK? Okay, we are going to get right into the analysis. Now, if you are, and of course, we are going to start with crude oil. Now, if you are already in my trading club, you already have this chart. This trade is in profit, and I'm going to give you value, obviously, inside the club when we go live tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to look for some gaps. If you're not yet in the club, well, you can easily go down below to that website and find a plan that works for you. Now, if you want this link for this setup and you're not yet in the club, go down to the video comments, type in the word link, L-I-N-K, and when I'm done with the live stream, I'm going to send you my link to this particular chart and setup so that you at least have one chart ready to go for you. And then, of course, we're going to be breaking this down at all the different time levels. So if you want this chart and you're not yet in the club, definitely drop that in as well. So, hey, good to see all of you. Appreciate all of you being here. And let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get rid of this here. And let's go ahead and do our full analysis. So for today, we've got crude oil. We've got natural gas. We're going to be looking at gold. We're going to be looking at a few indices. And I'm going to sprinkle in one or two Forex pairs, some of the JPYs at the towards the end of this video. So if you can, grab a cup of coffee, grab a Celsius, grab a cup of water, sit back. Let's do this in about 30 minutes max so I can give you value. I don't waste all your time. I know some of you are trying to get over to your place of worship if you didn't do that early this morning. And then some of you have got American football to go watch. So that's why I wanted to do this now for this live stream right here. So let's go ahead and get into crude oil. Again, if you want this chart and you're not yet a member, drop the word link and we shall give it to you. So what is going to happen with crude oil? Well, let's take a look at some of the headlines that kind of been happening and something that I want you to kind of look at as we go here. And that's kind of right in here. Okay. Again, OPEC has plans to increase production, okay, starting in December. Now, one thing I tell my members all the time is that we trade what we see, but we also want to know kind of what's going on with some of the fundamentals that are happening, okay? So that's yet for December. And if you look below it, okay, the Financial Times had reported on Wednesday that Saudi Arabia is going to abandon their price point. They were estimating crude oil to finish around $100 a barrel by the end of 2024. Probably not going to happen. Okay. Probably not going to happen. Now, interesting enough, let me share this other link with you. And that was Bank of America. Okay. Bank of America did make a kind of a prediction last week that they're anticipating crude oil to head back up towards $80 a barrel by the end of 2024. Then they posted this article that they believe that the bears are walking into a trap. So again, we're going to trade what we see, but there are a lot of institutions that do believe that crude oil is going to end up much higher than what we are now. So that's a good sign for us that have already began to buy crude oil at these lower levels. In addition, let's not forget that it is also an election year in the United States. And so, of course, all politicians want to keep prices down. So again, those are some of the headlines from the fundamentals. So let's go ahead and get right into the chart so we can begin to look at this from a different vantage point. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Let's go over to our weekly chart. Again, so important to start in the weekly chart to kind of take a look at the price action of what's going on. Again, I encourage you to mark up your charts with me. Again, if you're in the club, you don't have to worry. You're going to get all these charts and all these analysis moving through. So you definitely do not need to worry. Okay, so we are going to start marking up some of the key levels that are here as we move forward. Okay, and I'm going to change that to white. Okay, and then on the weekly, we're going to look at this level right in here. And then we're going to look at an intermediate level kind of right about here. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at the price action and what's happening here. Let's grab a rectangle. Okay, I like my charts to be nice and colorful. So we've seen the floor here a couple of times near 65. Okay, we've seen the floor here near 65. We've had 1, 2, let's call it about 3 weeks of rejection. And we can see here that last week, price kind of pulled down into this nice Fibonacci area. Okay, and this is why we gave that trade at the end of the week last week, as you saw at the beginning of the video. And again, so we need to see how crude oil is going to respond. At the same time, right, we definitely know that crude oil is in this bearish structure. Okay, we can all see this bearish structure still happening here, and why it's so important to trade what you see and not be so focused in on the headlines, because again, the headlines could definitely throw you off if that's all that you're looking at, right? If you want to be profitable in trading, it's important to know the headlines, but you also want to focus in on what is actually happening inside of our charts. Okay, so we have on a weekly kind of crude oil trapped inside this alligator mouth right in here. Now, as we drop down to the daily, this was that push that we began to see, okay, happening towards the end of last week, and that's why we got in at this bottom price point once we had a smaller time frame break a trend level. And again, if you're trading on the higher time frame, which I highly recommend, right, this was the major basis for that, is that we saw rejection in the nice area that we love looking for rejection on the higher time frame, and that's between the 61 and the 88 point fib. Okay, so this was a very, very valuable area that we use all the time across all the different time frames, but especially as we drop into the lower time frames, they become less reliable. So we really stick to the higher time frames, but we enter obviously looking at price action on the lower ones. So we are kind of going to be in a wait and see pattern here. What happens? So on a bigger time frame, obviously, once we get a candle to close, okay, and I'll make that candle red, or I'm sorry, I'll make it green. Once we get a candle, okay, for you long-term bulls, there really a candle would need to close above 74 to break this trend line, okay, and then give us a possibility to head back up into the 80s where Bank of America is predicting. But again, let me caution you, right? One of the main things that you should be focusing on is what is happening right now in the charts. Okay. If you're a swing trader, if you're trading on futures like I am, and if you're trading on Forex like I am as well, and the reason why you should have multiple accounts, right? Understanding your contract dates. You know, some of you that are long-term oil buyers, well, you're in a good spot. Based on today's price point, you're in a pretty good spot if you're looking to hold it up for 400, 500, 600 points. You know, eventually I do believe we're going to go back up towards 71, 72, at least to finish the year. But for right now, as intraday traders, you definitely want to focus on what is happening right here in the chart. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to drop down to the 8-hour level. And again, we can begin to see here on the 8-hour level now the different levels. So again, if you need to, you know, pause this video or start marking up this chart here. And if you look at the upper left-hand corner, okay, up in here, Okay, I am using the WTI light sweet crude oil future spot chart currently on the 8-hour, and that's because that mirrors the prices of my brokers pretty close, within a couple of cents difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and write the thing here. All right, very cool. All right, so we have some levels there that we have to consider, and we have a level here that we have to consider because we saw that price action here, okay, give us that support and resistance. And so we're definitely looking to approach this area here. Now, this area is about 68.74. So we are just going to call it, let's move this here. Let's make this white. We're just going to call that about 69. Okay. So, and what I'll do is I will keep that there. So we are going to have to get through this shorter level of resistance for crude oil if we are going to go back up to the next level. And the next major level would be right here. Okay. Which would also come back up and retest that trend line. So we have about 69 and we have about 71 to the top side. Okay. So we are now at a level where previously, if you look right over here, right, we had seen some resistance happening right here at this price point. Okay. At this supply and demand zone. So ideally, what we want to see here before we go long again is a candle to close above that 69 area, possibly come back to retest that area and then head up to that area. Okay. So this is where you begin to look for price action on a smaller time frame if we're going to go down one more time for a short or a sell on crude oil. This is where we begin to drop down to, for example, the 1 hour, and then we are looking for price action inside of this area right in here as we're looking for that price action. Okay. So for a possible short, if crude oil is going to continue in this bearish structure, and you can see the lower lows, the lower high, the lower low, the lower highs, the lower lows, right? If we're going to continue on a bearish structure, well, then they technically would have to reject here and bring it down one more time. Okay. So that's on a bearish structure continuation from where they are now. If we get the candle to close above, okay. So what should you be looking for over here? And this is kind of a little bit of a cheat sheet that I'm going to kind of give you, right? You should be looking for this over here like this, where you get price to close above, price comes back to retest the area. That's how you validate the area, and then price eventually moved up. So you're looking for this type of price action. Now, some traders will get in on the first impulse. So if you are impulsive trader, nothing wrong with that. You can definitely scalp 20 to 30 points up. And even if it reverses to retest, then you enter a second position here and you head back up. This gave you a third position and then you go back up. So this level right here is going to be a very critical area to what crude oil is going to do. Okay. And again, this is why I think, being in a community, whether it's my community or someone else's community who knows what they're talking about and is with you every day live and is sharing charts all the time with you for updates, this is important because this is going to be a key level, whether we're going to take this down one more time to scalp or we're going to wait for this price action to move forward. So this is going to be a very key level. And I'm going to mark this here, right here. And again, if you want this chart, just drop the word chart inside of the comments, and then I'll get back to you afterwards. So this is going to be a key level to look for in what is going to happen. Okay. So this will be the area that we analyze for crude oil at the beginning of the week. There is nothing else to discuss on crude oil right now because everything else is just guessing, right? And I don't like to guess. I like to trade what we see. And this is why we are very profitable with crude oil, because we stick to what's happening and we don't believe something is, we read something somewhere or we believe something is going to happen. Many times as a trader, and I've been there 100 times, especially early on in my 9-year journey. This is year number 9 for me trading, is when I made mistakes is because I made mistakes because I thought something was going to happen. And so I went into a trade with no technical analysis. I just went into a trade because I thought, or I loved it, or somebody told me, or the 20,000 Telegram groups you're in, or the 20,000 Discord groups you're in. Everybody has an opinion. The only thing that matters in trading, and this is what we're getting through our members here, each and every day we talk about trading psychology. The only thing that matters in trading is what those little candles in front of you are doing. Nothing else matters. No article, no analyst, no reporter. The only thing that matters is going to be what is happening right here in front of you with the charts. And again, why I think we're very successful with everything we trade is because we're really just focusing in on the charts, on the key levels, and we don't worry about all the news and all the hype, right? We don't trade the news. We wait for the news, and then we react to the news based on support, resistance, and Fibonacci. So this is kind of where we are right now with crude oil. And again, if you want this chart as well, just go down to the live comments and type in chart or link. And after this live stream, I'll get you the crude oil chart. But again, if you're in the club, you don't have to worry. You have all of this to your disposal. Okay, so now we are going to move on to natural gas. So if you are into trading natural gas, and if you're getting some value, okay, on today's video, then you know what to do. Definitely hit that like button for me. That doesn't cost you any money. It's absolutely free. If you're brand new here, hopefully you'll subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on all of the value that we're giving you. And if you want to help somebody, share this live link right now with your trading group or with a family member or friend, because if they turn out to even make $2, $5 in trading, guess what? You made a difference in their life, and that's what it's all about. So let's go ahead and get into natural gas, and then we're going to be coming to gold next. Okay, so let's go over to natural gas, and you can see here we had a nice liftoff on natural gas. And again, let me warn you, okay, if you've never traded natural gas, this thing is a beast. This thing needs to be respected, and this is a very small lot size when trading because natural gas has a mind of its own. Okay, so let's go over to our weekly and let's go ahead and trap our price as we always do. So what we've seen here is a couple of things. Number one is we saw a nice teacup. We saw the handle, and guess what price is doing now? Price is reacting to that handle because a teacup pattern is usually a bullish pattern. And I always say the word usually because there is nothing 100% in trading. So the weekly has made a cup and has also now started to go bullish on the weekly over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Whoa. So is this thing due for a reversal? We shall see. So beautiful W pattern right here in front of you, okay, on a higher time frame. We're going to mark up these levels now as we get into different time frames where we've seen price react. And guess what? We are pretty much there at a level where we've seen price react. Remember that levels are never an exact line. Okay, so this is why I draw the boxes, because it's never an exact point. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting spot for natural gas. Now, based on price action, okay, based on this candle right here, okay, we ended on Friday with a bullish engulfing candle. You can see that right here, right? Kind of like a big Pac-Man candle. That candle ate these candles. So for me, obviously, natural gas is right now staying bullish. There's no signs of it going down. So in those cases, I like to bring up this to the next higher level. And then we will look at a Fibonacci retracement from this top point to this bottom point. Okay, so here, now that we're looking at the higher time frame, we are getting into the area where we could possibly see some signs of reversal begin to happen up in this area, right? So the question is going to be, this high was created back on June 11th. Are they going to come back to re-hit this area one more time and then drop it, right? That's the unknown answer, and that's the answer that we will wait for as we look to trade the price action of natural gas. As we drop to the 8-hour chart, right, we need to begin to look for rejection points, and we need to look for price action like this if we're going to take this down one more time. So in essence, you should be looking for this over here if this is going to reject this bubble area and head down. And you can clearly see here that once you get this bearish, let me make this chart a little bit bigger. Once you get this bearish engulfing candle, kind of like this one here, okay, what price came back up to the Fibonacci area and then melted from here. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so if price is going to go bearish, I need to see this price action on my left over here on the right if we're going to sell natural gas from up here. Now, I will tell you that natural gas every Sunday creates a huge gap. And what is a gap? A gap is where price closed on Friday, and you can see it there on my chart inside the bubble, and where price will open tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is why in the trading group, we go live every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we look to trade any decent gaps, meaning large gaps, and we have a strategy for that. And we talk about that as we're trading live at 6 o'clock. So again, be cautious, because natural gas will have a huge gap, usually on Sundays. And for natural gas, the gaps do not necessarily close in a few hours or a few days. There are still gaps open from January 2023, okay, almost 2 years ago, that are still open. So we're very cautious. We have a certain rule on when we get into a gap. And so again, we'll do that again tonight. But again, you got to be very cautious on this as price and the market opens today with regards to where price may or may not open. So we'll be looking for this. And of course, if price just continues to move up to this level and closes above our 100 fib level, then all we do is squeeze the chart, and then we're just going to look for this price action to go higher, but over here. So if you look to your left, there's no secret. The market likes to repeat itself. You should be looking for those clues, okay, to your left and on the higher time frames to look for structure. Okay, so we'll be monitoring natural gas. We're not in anything right now in natural gas. I need to see what it does at about that 3.2 level before we decide if we're going to go long one more time, or if we're going to try and scalp all the way down. Okay, so very cool, very cool. All right, cool. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, thanks. Definitely want to give Stern a shout out. He goes, about 60 people are watching, but only 16 likes. Show me some love. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, don't worry about it. I do this because I love to do it. And as we know, in the game of YouTube, the more likes you get, the more possibilities that your video will be shown and that other people can get value. And if you've been with me in the club, you know what I'm all about, right? So I do this because I love to do this, and hopefully people can get value and start trading at some point. Like I did 9 years ago. I sucked my first 3 years. I was bad. I blew accounts. Finally, I got with a mentor. Finally, I got with a positive community, and that turned me around. And so now I just want to pay it forward and help people out. And this is the reason why my price points are so low, because I want to help all the folks that we have in India, Pakistan, South Africa, all over the place, Germany, right? I understand that currencies change, and that could be a lot of money for people. My price points, it is, less than $1 a day, whether you're paying in euro, in rupee, in dollar. And so I want you to come in, be a part of something special, learn something, do something with our community, give value, and hopefully, reach your goals. That's why we're doing what we are doing. So thank you so much for being here on the live on a Sunday morning. Okay, so now let's go ahead, and I'm going to save this chart, and let me go ahead and awesome, auto saved. That'll be going out to the members here soon. Let's go over to gold, and let's take a look at gold. We have been very, very profitable on gold. And I left this chart up because those of you, let me make this a little bit bigger. All right, those of you in the club, you know what we've been doing. We've been selling gold every time we've been hitting that trend line. All right, so congratulations to all of you who on Friday grabbed all those nice pips. Of course, I closed mine way early. Like on 60 pips was a trade that I initiated on Thursday, and it closed on Friday. And then some of you got into some continuation trades all the way down 236 pips on gold before the last 3 hours of the market gave us that retracement. Okay, so congrats to all of you who've been taking gold down with us from these higher points. But that was last week, and let's give you some value now for this week. Okay, so it's important to kind of see where gold is here. But again, I like to always start at the weekly. And that's a nice, that is a nice weekly candle there. And again, right, we know that gold has continued to make these all-time highs, right? Just boom, 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 one after the other. But let's take a look at this weekly chart here. Okay, let's take a look at this weekly chart here, and then we're going to drop over to our daily chart. Okay, so this is a trend line that's had multiple touches, so it's a valid trend line. Okay, and again, if you know my style by now, we trap price and then we react to price. Okay, so we are kind of have that that nice place right in there. Okay, where we have on a bigger time frame, we kind of have this alligator mouth thingy happening right in here. And this was the sell that we took off from that 2690-ish area up in here. Now we're going to drop down to the 8-hour. Okay. And this is where I find interesting, because on the 8-hour, we are going to draw another level there. We've had 1, 2, 3 touches. So we're going to need to see a break below this current level right here if we are going to take gold back down one more time. And I'm going to kind of bring this up a little bit, and I'm going to kind of put it into this area here. Okay, so we are at a trend line, and then we had a bounce here and a bounce here. So we have to validate the bounce, okay? Because if price wicked, it means it could wick there again. And here we had a little rejection, and then price came down. And because there is no data over on the left-hand side, right, we have nothing because it's continue making new highs. We have to go with the current data and what the market is showing us. So that is why we are going to, let me get rid of this. This is why we are going to stick to the area that we are currently in right in here. Okay. All right. All right. So we need to see what price is going to do here and how price is going to react at this level. Okay. The moment that we get a candle to close in here, we're going to be looking to see if it comes back to retest this area. And then if we drop down to the level, gold is not difficult to trade, but gold is one of those that you have to trade level to level. Number one. Number two is you got to have a plan to exit your trade as well, because gold can move very fast, both on the stop loss, stop profit, or your profit area. This is why what we focus on in our group is that you come in and you learn how to grab 10 to 20 pips a day consistently for a couple weeks, and then we can bring you up to 25, 30 pips. But as you move forward on your accounts, as your accounts are growing, if you're growing it at the right account growth, and I'll give you a growth plan when you first get started with us, is that if you're doing it right and you're doing it not to hit a home run, if you're doing it for long term, you're going to be very successful in trading. Okay. Most people just want to make overnight money. This is not the place to do it, right? If you want to try to make overnight money, you go become a gambler, right? So when we go up high probabilities, right, and your risk is low, you can drop a smaller lot size. You have a little bit more wiggle room. But again, gold is one of those that we grab after 20 pips, we secure a trade, right? Multiple entries, 20 pips, secure profits, and then protect the second trade. Because you could be in profit 30 pips, 40 pips, 40 points, whatever you want to call it, or ticks on futures. You go walk away to get a cup of coffee. When you come back, you're at a loss. So you've got to protect trades. Okay. You cannot let winners turn into losers in anything that you trade. And so this is why every day people will hear me say, after 20 pips, you either secure, cash out, or you protect, because the markets are going to turn around on you. And your goal, I would think, is to increase your account growth and not to decrease your account growth. And at the end of the day, breaking even will not pay your bills, will not get you to your finish line. So you've got to take profits off the table. And the moment that you can make that psychological switch in your mind to grab profits, even if it's 5 pips, 10 pips, and you repeat that over a long period of time, kind of like dollar cost averaging when it comes to investing, right? You will become successful and your account will grow with realistic expectations. Okay. If you go into trading thinking you're going to have 5-8% returns per day in trading, good luck. Let me know how that goes, because you're not going to be able to sustain that. But if you come in and try to grab 0.25%, 1%, maybe 2% max, anywhere in there where you could have positive account growth each and every day, you will be very successful. And that's what we're retooling all of our members to do, is to think differently when it comes to trading. So we will need to see what happens here. Let's go over to the 1 hour price point. And so we just saw that bounce happening right here on gold. Again, gold will probably give us a gap at the Sunday market. So we'll look to trade that gap. So again, we will need on a 1 hour, a price to go a little bit lower for us to think about shorting with a very, minimal risk to reward, right? So if we go short here, we go short after it drops something like this, right above this wick, and we try to take it all the way down right to the next level. But we have to see this price action first before we go here, okay? For now, we'll wait for market open. We don't trade Sundays. We only trade gaps. Sunday is not a day to get into a trade because you don't know what's going to happen here, right? Now, I did see this bearish engulfing candle, but the zone here has rejected perfectly. So again, we'll look to see if gold comes back up. We'll look to short it one more time up in here because these areas in the middle can go in either direction. So we like to trade from areas of support and resistance. And on the 1 hour, we do have a support level here, we have a support level here, and we have a support level here. So if we break that support level, then yeah, we'll go long one more time, and that long, would probably look something like this. We're going to go right back up to the highs, and we'll have to close it right in here. Okay, so again, this is the value that you're going to get each and every day, multiple times a day, morning analysis, evening analysis, so that you can be better prepared to pick 1 or 2 charts that you enjoy trading and trading it with you as well. Okay, so hey, you're welcome. Definitely got to read this from Sasha. So happy I finally tuned into a live. I feel like you're speaking directly to me because my account definitely has been decreasing instead of increasing. Yeah, you got to take money off the table. You've got to take money off the table each and every trade when the money is there. And I know what you're going to say, right? Let me come here full screen for a minute. You're going to say, "Oh, I wish I would have stayed longer in that trade because you close at 20." And it happens to me all the time, right? But that's how I was able to grow into a 6-figure account from just a couple $1,000s 5 years ago, is taking money off the table. Even today, I still close my trades very early. And I no longer pout when a 30 pip profit could have been 200 pips. And this is where you change the psychology and you say, you know what? I'm just thankful, right? When you start working from a level of humbleness, when you start working from a level of gratefulness, and you just say, whoever your God is, mine is Jesus Christ, right? Hey, just thank you. I was able to get 30 pips today. Thank you. I was able to make XYZ money today in the market. When you start giving back thanks, when you start giving back gratefulness, you're going to see how your trading changes. But if you're always from a level of, I wish I would have made more, I wish I could have done more, oh my God, I can't believe I closed my trade early, you now begin to implement nuggets of greed into your heart. And when you get greedy in the markets, you are going to get burned over and over and over again. I know because I've been there, right? I have a rule. If I lose 2 trades back to back, I don't trade anymore for the day. Because if you try to go in for that 3rd trade, you're not going in thinking clearly. You're going in with greed. You want to make that $20 back. You want to make that $100 back. You want to make that $1,000 back. And you think that trade's going to go your way? 90% of the time, it will not, because you're operating from a level of greed versus a level of gratefulness, right? So it's just a different way. And when you lose a trade, you know what I say? Hey, thank you. I paid XYZ money to learn that trade, but I'm so humble and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to make money daily in this market. Because 10, 15 years ago, you needed X amount of millions of dollars to trade. Now, regular people like you and me can come here daily with a realistic goal, right? And trade what we see and make a little money. Pay your car insurance, pay your mortgage, save for college, retire your parents, whatever the case may be. But that takes time, right? Just like college kids who go to college for all those years, they don't get a degree after 30 days, right? For some of them, it's 4 years, 6 years, 8 years in medical school. So again, don't be so rushed to think you have to think of daily profits. When you switch your mind to where are you at the end of the month, kind of like your bank statements give you a monthly statement, stop thinking you have to make money daily and think about where you are at the end of the month, and you'll see that you'll do much, much better. Okay, let's get back into the chart here. So let's go ahead and go into, Okay, let me save this. Those of you in the group, you'll get this when I'm done on the live analysis. All right, let's take a look at the US 30. Again, same thing here on the US 30. We had a nice sell area there from the top, which rejected that 42,637. But we are coming into this trend line right here. So this is the chart that I sent you on Friday. We're going to be looking to see, okay, if price, and I believe we're going to go bearish on the US 30 here for a couple of weeks. If we close here, then we're expecting price to do this bounce up and then come back. This is hopefully what we can target this week, 41.8, once this part here happens. Okay, for now, we're in a wait and see to see if we're going to get another move up from this trend line or not. Okay, so that is kind of a wait and see pattern. Let me blank this and let me go over to the weekly, and let's kind of show you what happened here with regards to the last few weeks. Okay. So let's go here. All right. And let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and delete this so we can start fresh from the weekly. All right. So let's go ahead and mark up this weekly level. We're here. We're here. All right. Hey, and don't worry. Listen, there's always, listen, when you have haters, that means you're doing something well. Okay. So I appreciate any of the negative comments in the group. We love it. Because haters will always have their 2 seconds worth, but we keep doing what we're doing. If you're worried about negative comments or you're worried about haters, you never get anywhere in life. And so we just keep doing what we're doing. All right. So we're taking a look at the weekly roof and the weekly floor. All right. So that is the weekly chart right in there. Let's take a look at the daily. We had this rejection point that happened up in here. And so, you know, this could turn out to be a very defining wick, especially if the US 30 right now does not climb any higher. We're going to kind of see what happens with that wick right in here. And then we're going to mark a level right up in here on a daily time frame, because as we drop to the 8 hour, right, it kind of correlates to the area that we are looking to possibly target at this lower level right in here. Okay. So we did not get a bearish engulfing candle. We really are going to need to see, you know, that trend line break, which again, if you saw it earlier, right up in this area, okay, for us to go further down on the US 30. Okay, this is the 8 hour chart. So we need to kind of wait to see how the US 30 is going to respond at this level. But again, if on a 4 hour we get a closure below, then we're going to be looking for that retest and further drop on down. Okay, so here's the 4 hour chart right in here. This is what we need to wait for. We should have a good answer by late Monday, Tuesday, which direction we're going. Again, the US 30 has the potential for a nice gap to happen today as well. Again, there is a lot of, you know, global news happening as well. So that could impact the beginning of the markets. So for US 30, we are going to kind of wait to see how price reacts here, where we would drop all the way down to a 15-minute chart, right? And you can see here on the 15-minute chart where we're going to be looking at. We're going to be focusing in on there for either a bullish engulfing candle back up or that bearish engulfing candle back down on the US 30, right? So this is going to be a very, very important level that we look at. That chart has been saved, and we'll get to that chart when we're done here in just a little bit over in the members area. Let's take a look at our NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ last week already began to play. So congratulations to those of you, okay, that, hey, you're welcome. Let me definitely throw this out here. You're welcome for the natural gas. You got it. You got it. My pleasure. So we are definitely going to continue on this short here on the NASDAQ. All right, we'll continue here on the NASDAQ. So we took that break. Some of you are already in that break here, but let's take a look at possible levels for the NASDAQ. Let's kind of go back up here. And again, this I already had marked up from Friday when you got the charts on Thursday and Friday. Once that closed here, okay, that was your go sign to go. But now we've got to respect these different levels that are going to be popping up. Okay, that would be the next floor, and that would be the next floor. So if you're already in the sell, you're going to continue your sell. We'll look at the gaps and we'll monitor the gaps when they happen today. But again, we'll have to see how price reacts kind of at this. I'm even going to put an intermediate level right here because I did see that price reacted. Okay, so let's use caution on the NASDAQ. Let's see what happens here at this pretty much 20,000 level. Okay, nice psychological number. But if the NAS gives us another pull back up, we'll be looking to shorting it somewhere up here again. But again, we'll keep you posted. For now, if you're still in the short, use caution because we might see some type of rejection around this 20,000 price point right in here. Okay, so that's going to exactly be an area that we have to take a look at. And as we drop to the 15-minute, okay, the good news is that we did not see a bullish engulfing candle to close out on Friday. So again, we'll be monitoring this area early in the week, okay, heading into Monday U.S. analysis when we're live again in the morning. So we'll be taking a look to see if maybe we can catch another pull up and back down. But right now, once we close below this 20,000, this structure point, you can see the structure right here, okay? Once we close below 20,000, the structure is going back down to about 19.8, okay? If we never close below structure, then we're going to head up one more time, okay? So we're still in a bullish structure. This is a very critical level right here. This is going to be a very critical level with what happens right here, whether we go back down to the eights or we don't. Okay, so this is going to be a key level that we will monitor. But for right now, if you're still in your sell, you're in a good almost 100 points. Okay, be careful as we look at this key level, but we'll look at this again tonight at 6 o'clock when the market opens and see what happens with the NASI here on the gaps. All right, awesome. So let's take a look at one more, and then we shall begin to wrap it up. Actually, I'm going to do one JPY as promised as well. And so let's go over to GJ for those of you that trade Forex as well. Beautiful. All right, let's go here. Now, again, there was a lot of news with the JPY, new prime minister in Japan, and that's why the JPY became stronger. Let's see how that holds up for this particular week. All right, we've got 2 touch points there. And of course, we have a floor right in here. So we've got price kind of trapped here on this weekly. Let's head over to the daily. You can see here again, there's the rejection. And again, you can see when you draw this up on the weekly, you're going to get a lot of value because when things start lining up, you have a nice reference point. Okay, we do have a bearish engulfing candle, so we should see a continuation of GJ continue to come back down to this level. You might see, again, once Monday comes around, they may come back up to grab some liquidity from this candle and then continue back on down here. So GJ, AJ, everything with the JPY usually follows the exact same structure point. So again, we will definitely take a look at this because I think we're going to get another short opportunity on the JPY or especially early at the beginning of the week, because this right here tells us they want to go further down. Okay. And I do see some unmet liquidity down in here that they may come and grab, or if anything, come back and kind of retest this area right in here, which also puts us at a nice Fibonacci level when you do the Fib level from this low to this high. So for now, all the JPYs are short until otherwise. Okay, they're short until we get back down to some of these levels right in here. Okay, and let's go ahead and finish up with. Oh man, I wanted to do one more, and I wanted to talk about, where was it? I'm forgetting. Oh, the Russell. All right, so let's take a look at the Russell, and we shall end on the Russell, the 2K on futures. Okay, and again, remember the Russell is not a lot, but the Russell will kind of not mirrors the NASDAQ, but usually, they move pretty close in the sense of the areas that they're involved in. Right. So on a weekly, that's where we are on the NAS. On a daily, we kind of need to see what is going to happen here. We did have this Fib rejection, okay, near the 88% Fib level right there, as you can see. Okay. So because the Fib levels have been established, now what's easy to do is just to go ahead and mark this up and then Again, this is one that really trades nicely from level to level. Then we get rid of the fibs, and now you have your levels marked up. Okay, so there's a little cheat code on getting your levels, because fib levels, if you mark them on that same time frame, they're going to work a lot like support and resistance, as you can see right here. Support, 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 and we got these levels all from a Fibonacci level. Okay, so hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let me shout out Venus. Welcome. You got GJ there. You got GJ there. And again, you're in the group, so just ask me. Awesome, awesome. Hey, Drew, appreciate it. We're not done yet, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Escucha. Gracias y bienvenido to my Spanish crew. So we're going to be looking here at these levels here. Again, we're going to wait for market open on Monday. We're going to wait for the market to open first on Monday. That's always important. Never get into a trade 15 minutes before the market opens, because they begin to fill contracts. And then at 10:15 or so Eastern on the US session, they begin to fill contracts as well. So we'll be playing these two levels until we have a clear direction. Okay, so we play these levels until we get a price closes above, or until we get a price that closes below. Then we change our analysis. For now, we just might stay in this consolidation period right here, which is great because it makes it much easier to scalp 3, 4, 5 points, right? 10, 15, 20 ticks on the Russell inside of the futures account as well. Okay, so here, a very intermittent pull up. So we shall see what happens here with the gap when the gap opens on Sunday and where they go. Okay, so if we come back up to these levels again, I'm shorting not futures. I'm shorting the Russell if we come all the way back up here. But again, you'll have that information as we move forward there. All right, awesome, awesome. Hey, we've been streaming for almost 52 minutes. I hope you got some value on today's session. If you did, thank you for being here. If you're in the club, don't worry, you know I got you. If you're brand new here, again, think about subscribing, hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. And listen, I think it's always interesting to finish on a high note. So again, a couple things. Number one is don't forget to be kind to others. Very important in life that you are. Please connect with your faith, whatever your faith is. That's so important, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you attain or properties you attain or whatever you're into, people that are into cars and all that stuff. Guess what? You can't take that with you. Okay, everything we're doing now in life is to leave for the next generation, to leave for my 12-year-old sitting right here to the right of me, and for the other kids. So again, just be humble, be grateful for what you have, and don't worry about negative people. Don't worry about haters. Whether you're trying to build a business, you're trying to tell people in your own family who don't believe in you that this is something you want to do or that you're passionate about doing, do it anyways. Do it anyways, right? So if you are doing something right, haters will hate, right? If you're doing something right, people will comment. That's okay. If you go to my social media, you don't see me post anything that I do about trading in social media. There's no one I need to impress. The only people I need to impress are living underneath this roof. And that's all that I care about, right? My faith with my God and my family. Everybody else, I don't need to impress you. Right? If you like what you do, join us. If you don't, good luck to you as well. We'll be praying for you as well. So again, just wanted to leave you with that message that in life, you're going to go through struggles. Remember, trading struggles, financial struggles, life struggles, relationship struggles. Just keep moving, right? Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And if you get knocked down in trading, you blow one account, 2 accounts, 3 accounts, you put $5 in there, you put $10 in there, and you do your best to grow that account, right? It's people who quit that never know the finish line. It's people who quit who talk bad about this trading space. It's people who blow their accounts because they have no direction, who talk bad about this particular profession or industry. So again, you shouldn't be doing this full-time. Do this part-time, right? Learn how to make $10 a day and scale from there if you want to do it. But anyways, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I know many of you have a lot of things to do. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. And that concludes today's live stream.